So I want to welcome you guys to another video in which I'm going to be sharing with you some obscure comics from my collection. And here's the thing, I'm going to be interested in hearing whether you guys recognize any of these titles or publishers, because they really are obscure. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I want to invite you to do so. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you can stay abreast of all the content that I release here from the channel. With that said, stay tuned for the video. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. In this video, we are going to be looking at some more obscure comics from my collection. And if you enjoy this video, I want to invite you to check out the other videos that are here on the channel that look at similarly weird type of books from my collection. I have a pretty large collection and therefore a lot of obscure books, which I think honestly are really awesome. I really do think that these books are awesome because they're very different. And what's really cool about this hobby of ours is that there are so many different titles and publishers and characters that we've never heard of before. And so this is honestly like a great way to celebrate some of that history that we don't really know about. So with that said, let's go ahead and check out some of these awesome obscure books. The very first book is honestly kind of sort of picking up on the last video that we did. Because in the last video, we talked about some radioactive mutant type of hamster turtle thingies. And in this one, we're going to start off with Barney, the invisible turtle. I don't know how he's invisible if I can see him. He's literally right there. But this is Amazing Comics, Barney, the Invisible Turtle, issue number 1. And this is kind of like a throwback, if you will, to some early DC comics, the dark cover with the circle in the middle and kind of like the spotlight. So this is pretty cool. I mean, he's an invisible turtle with like a scarf and a cigar. He's dope. I mean, let's be completely honest about that. He is dope. This book was $195 back in the day, and it is honestly in great shape. I mean, there's a little bit of a bindery tear down at the bottom, but that's a pretty cool book. Well preserved piece of history right there that I'm trying to position that so that it does not fall off the desk. All right, so next up, this is a little interesting one. This one actually comes from Kitchen Sink Comics. Again, a publisher that I have never heard of before. Now, what's interesting is that in one of the previous videos, we actually talked about a character called Megaton. And this was a character that had 2 hearts. He was a pretty awesome character. I've read a lot of his storyline. And this one is Megaton Man, but it's not the same Megaton, and it's certainly not the same publisher, right? This is Megaton Man issue number 4, and this is, again, is a pretty cool piece of history, right? I mean, it's a pretty awesome character. The guy kind of sort of looks like the Tick. I'm not a big Tick fan, but he reminds me of the Tick. Massive upper body and tiny legs. Yeah, massive upper body and really tiny legs, but she looks like Sue Storm. This reminds me of Sue Storm right here. And this is Stella by Starlight. I don't know if this is Stella or if this was just a story arc that Megaton was telling around this time. But this is issue number 4. It's a really cool cover. It really is. I don't know a thing about this title. Have not read it. But it's one of those ones that you kind of look at and you're like, I might want to read that just to see, what it's all about, So we are about to go with like vegetables. We're going to go vegetables kind of sort of for a moment here. My children love carrots, right? They will eat a bag of carrots like nobody's business. So when I kept seeing this particular title and the next one, I had to pull a couple out to share with you guys. So this is Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo Crew. And this is issue number 9. I have a lot of these in the collection. I could not find the issue number 1. I think that I have it. I just wasn't able to locate it. But issue number 9 from DC Comics, Captain Carrot and his amazing crew. And this is just a fun cover. It's just a really fun cover. There's a lot going on. This is honestly reminiscent of a Teen Titans cover that I've seen a couple of times in the collection, and you guys may know the number, and if you do, throw it down in the comment section. But these colored lines or sections, if you will, are reminiscent of a Teen Titans. And again, I can't remember what the number is, but you guys may know those titles a little bit better than I. But in that same vein of carrots and Captain Carrot, I bring you the Flaming Carrot. The Flaming Carrot, and this is issue number 2. Gorgeous black cover on this one. This is just a really, really cool cover, and I want to say I have a couple of these in the collection. I don't know why he has flippers. I literally just noticed that he has flippers on his feet. I don't know why he has those. I may have to read this to understand why he has flippers instead of actual feet. But again, we're talking about a carrot. I don't know. So this is from Aardvark. And I think the last one was from Aardvark. Yeah, the last one was from Aardvark as the publisher. This one too is Aardvark. This is issue number 6. And this one is Normal Man. I'm not making this up. Normal Man. And it's one of those covers that you look at and you're like, I have to understand this one. I have to understand who he is. Like, is he a superhero, right? Normal Man, that's like a superhero type of name. So I'm intrigued by this one by Valentino. So shout out to Valentino and Aardvark. That's just a cool cover. Simple. There's a lot going on there, and it's understated presentation. Not understated is this next one right here from Red Circle Comics Group. All new adventures of the Mighty Crusaders. This is issue number 2, and this one to me just screams like Avengers. This cover to me screams Avengers with like the stars and the stripes. This guy over here looks like Eros from the Avengers. Little wasp action going on right here. You know, there's a couple of interesting things that are happening here, and I don't know the timing of when this book was released, but it feels like an Avengers type of comic to me. And I may have to pull it out of the plastic to see who they're shooting at on the back side, but there is definitely some interesting stuff that is going on with this title from Red Circle. And I actually have a healthy number of Red Circle books in the collection. But what we have here is some code names. So we have Shield, which I'm guessing is this Cap-like character. Fly, which might be the woman with the wings. Black Hood might be the guy on the motorcycle. Comet could be this guy. Web. Now I'm just confused because there's Web. Web is down here. That's like a Spider-Man. I just noticed he has some webbing from his armpits. Fly Girl, so I'm guessing this guy is Fly, and the original Fly Girl from In Living Color is right here. And we have Jaguar. And who would be Jaguar? I guess it would be maybe this guy over here. Maybe that's who that is. Jaguar. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. And now I'm intrigued to see whether I'm actually right about who those characters are. That's cool. That's cool. So this next one, I could not find the title in the bins that I have here at the house. I think it's called Fish Cops. I think Fish Cops is the one that I was looking for, but I could not find it. So I pulled Fish Sticks. from Apple Comics. This is issue number 1. Oh, it's Fish Police. Fish Police. There you go. Fish Police right there. From the files of the Fish Police. This is Fish Sticks, issue number 1 from Apple Comics. And I don't know a ton about this title, but what was interesting is when I did the last Obscure Comics video, somebody made a comment about the Fish Police. And I was like, I'm going to have to pull that. And lo and behold, couldn't find it. But we found this one, and this one's pretty cool as well. So, some awesome stuff. Next up, this is from Neil Gaiman. This is from Neil Gaiman, and it is from Big Entertainment. This is issue number 5, and I want to say I had several copies of this title. And I can't remember if it was 1 through 5 or something like that, but I thought that this was one of the nicer covers, so I wanted to kind of share this one. And it is actually in decent shape as I catch the light here. It's in solid shape for a dark cover, and a lot of these are dark covers. This one right here is Lady Justice, and it's a pretty powerful cover. I don't know if this was painted or drawn. But I think that's a pretty cool cover right there. I mean, she has a nice cool battle axe and a utility belt with a knife and a firearm on it. And she's swinging a battle axe. So I thought this was a really cool example of this particular title to show you guys. So next up, the Epsilon Wave. And this actually comes from Independent Comics. This is issue number 2. And again, like all of these, I don't know much about them, so I'm just kind of reacting to the covers. But if you guys know more than me, please drop it down in the comments. But this is, again, from Independent Comics. This guy down here looks like the in-betweener. When I saw this, my initial thought, in-betweener. And I don't know what this Epsilon Wave is, but again, it's one of those cool covers that you look at and you're like, well, let me check this out and see what this one is about. And again, if you guys are enjoying these obscure comic videos, definitely let me know that down in the comment section as well. So I have a couple of more books here that I want to show you guys. Next up, Last of the Viking Heroes, issue number 5. And this is Genesis West Comics. And this is just a cool one. And I do believe that this one may have had something to do with Jack King Kirby and also Dave Stevens, and I know that because I literally just read their names down in the corner of the comic. And I don't know whether they did the covers or the interior panels, but down here that is Jack Kirby's signature, and Dave Stevens, the creator of The Rocketeer, is right there. Both of these gentlemen had something to do with Pacific Comics back in the day, and they may have clearly had something to do with Genesis West Comics. So this is actually pretty cool. This is issue number 5. I'm going to have to crack this one open to see who did what, because that's actually a pretty cool thing right there. Everybody loves some Jack Kirby by and large. Next up, this is Champions. This is Champions number 2 from Hero Comics. And this is the introduction of the Fat Man. Another just cool cover right here. Very simple, kind of understated statement or cover where you have, I'm guessing, the good guys in the shadow of the bad guy sitting right here. And I don't know what he's doing up over there, but this is the Champions. Again, issue number 2. So cool cover right here. And I'm not even sure who those guys are down there. But this one, I think, comes from 1987. So some late 80s action there. And then the very last book is Reacto Man, the Human Dynamo. And this is from B Movie Comics. This is issue number 1. And again, just simple, clean covers. And I'll be curious to know if people have any insight into who these characters are. Maybe you read these books back in the day. Maybe you have them in your collection. I'm definitely going to be curious. But Reacto Man, the Human Dynamo. So there you have it. These are some cool, obscure books that I have in my collection. And with that, I actually want to give you guys an opportunity to add a really cool book to your collection. And unfortunately, this book isn't obscure. It's actually a pretty mainstream comic. But I have a feeling that there are going to be some of you out there that are going to want this book right here. This is The Walking Dead issue number 3. It is a 9.4 with white pages. And this is the first appearance of a lot of characters. A lot of characters' first appearance here. Alan, Donna, Billy, Ben, Jim, Carol, and Andrea's in here. Wow. A lot of first appearances, but this is a cool one. I picked this one up recently, and I want to say that we've maybe offered up a couple of Image books and maybe even some Walking Dead books as well, but I thought that this was a really cool book. It is a 9.4, so not a terrible grade, but definitely a really cool book if you happen to be a Walking Dead fan. So this is the book that I'm going to make available, and if you don't know anything about my giveaways, I want to encourage you to search here on YouTube for Regie Collects Go Collect Giveaway. All the details will be there, but very simply, the requirements are very, very straightforward. You have to be a resident of the United States, a resident of Canada, or have a mail-in address in the US. You also have to be a subscriber. Like, that is like a pretty low bar to be a subscriber. And if you meet those requirements, I'm going to give you a phrase in just a moment. And basically what you will do is to head over to the community tab. You will click a link in a post where I'm talking about this book. You will then head over to MailChimp. And once on MailChimp, you will plug in 3 pieces of information. 2 of them are about you. 1 of them is a phrase that I will give you in just a moment. You plug all that information in, and then you tune in to the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is a show that I do every single Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. You do not have to watch that show in order to claim your prize if you are indeed the winner. You just have to watch the show at some point to know that you are the winner. And if you are indeed the person that is selected during that show, you basically send me an email to Regie@regiecollects.com, and I will bundle this book up and send it off to you. The phrase for this week is Regie Collects. And I'm doing this because people inadvertently spell my name the wrong way. So it is Regie Collects. Regie Collects is the phrase. Spelling matters with this one. So go ahead and enter that into the community tab, and then you will be in the running to win a really awesome book, that being Walking Dead issue number 3, a 9.4 with white pages. With that said, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, I want to encourage you to hit the thumbs up, leave a comment behind so we can mix it up in the comment section. If for some reason you need to reach out to me, you can do that as well on Instagram at Regie Collects, or you can send me an email to Regie@regiecollects.com. Take care.